Speaking of, let's look at IBM, for example, which did have a good earnings report, beat on the top and the bottom line. The stock was lower earlier. It plays into the theme that I mentioned at the top of our program, moves that the committee is making today around some of the stocks that are in the news. The stock is off. As you see, it's coming off the mat, though, from where it traded after the earnings. Is it, Steph, the fact that as you talked to us on Closing Bell yesterday, going into the print, the software line was going to be the most important one? It was a little lackluster last quarter. The stock sold down after earnings. It only came out in line with street estimates yesterday. Is that why the stock did what it did?
Yes, short term, right? But the numbers, they beat earnings, revenues, they raised margins, they raised free cash flow. That was the second piece, Scott, that I was looking for in terms of free cash flow guidance at $14 billion. That was at actually the high end. So, so the software piece was disappointing, but it still grew 11%. It still accelerated 5% sequentially versus 3% sequentially the prior quarter. So to me, I'm not getting all, hybrid cloud at 14%. I think that's actually positive. Okay, it wasn't 16%, but I just think that this company is positioned so well. In addition, the infrastructure revenues grew 19%. Consulting actually grew 3.3%. That actually surprised me a lot. I think they're taking a lot of share from Accenture. And so I think the fundamentals are sound. I mean, it was down as much as, 6%
Yeah, it was
today?
down a lot. It was down a bunch.
I mean, that to me is
25 times forward. I'll throw the same question you had for me with Zoom back to you.
Different company.
Well, we agree.
Different company.
What's the historical? What's the historical on IBM?
18 times.
16? Okay.
18.
And what's it at now?
It's at 25.
Does it deserve
forward?
Wait a
Does
second.
that deserve that much of a premium?
Yes, it does, because guess what? 74% of the company's revenue are software and services. If you go back in history, it wasn't even 20%. They didn't even have any software. There's a mainframe company, right? So now it still is a mainframe company, but it's much smaller. Consulting is doing well, also, by the way, aided by AI. And software, I mean, look, hybrid cloud 14%, automation up 22%, Red Hat backlog up 20%. That, to me, tells me hybrid cloud is expected to accelerate in the second half.
Okay, so we buried the lead a little bit. The fact is, both of you bought more of the stock.
Yes.
You look at the decline and you say, I don't believe it. I buy it. Tell me more, and then I want to hear from you too.
100%, because it goes back to actually just the market as a whole. It's not that difficult to buy stocks because earnings are actually coming in much better than expected. Earnings are running at 13% growth. Revenues are running about 18% growth. You buy stocks where numbers are going higher. IBM numbers are definitely going higher. They raised guidance. So I think you own the banks. Numbers went higher. You own some of the consumer stocks. Numbers at American Express, Royal Caribbean Cruise.
Oh, but you want to buy these things, though. I mean, you got to look at the valuation in some respects, right? Don't you? I mean, Josh's question has validity to it, just like yours probably did with Zoom. I mean, there's already a lot of that has to be in the stock if it's 25 times forward. Where is it going to go? Where's it going to trade at?
The whole transition of this company, I don't think is appreciated at all. There's still
How?
only.
Look at what the stock has done.
So yesterday we talked about it. There are only 8 buys on this stock. There are 14 holds and sells on this stock. People don't believe in the software story. They don't believe in the management.
Look at the chart.
I think the numbers continue to go higher as software and services become even more of a part of the story. And oh, by the way, more recurring revenue, more predictable revenue.
Malcolm?
I agree wholeheartedly with everything Stephanie just said. This is a legacy mainframe company that's turning itself into a software company. It puts up margins, gross margins that look very similar to a software company, 60% almost. Yet the market is responding to a beat and a raise with a yawn. Not even a yawn, a sell-off. The shares sold off pre-market all the way down to 8%. That is absurd to me. And so, to your point, I stepped in and bought more shares this morning.
I thought it was a great
opportunity. I like the stock. First of all, I like it technically. Look. I like this chart is exactly what I like to see as a reaction. Look how quickly they came in to buy that up.
Yep.
And I guess the part I would disagree with is that they're not getting credit for having transformed already into a software business. This is a stock that's up 150% in the 3 years since ChatGPT came along. I think everyone understands how important IBM is to AI.
$9.5 billion of bookings in AI specifically in 3 years for a company that, I mean, this is old tech we're talking about.
And then
Not anymore.
$14 billion in
right.
free cash flow. $14 billion. That was much better than people thought. At the high end of what was whispered.
Yeah. I think the stock's going to work, so I like it.
Okay, so the other one that is newsy comes by way of the AI power story, which we talk about a lot because there's a lot of ownership on the desk. You all probably own some of those stocks too. They had a pretty good pullback yesterday of what's perceived to be maybe some froth in the market because the stocks are up an awful lot. Vertiv is a good example. Vertiv had earnings too, which were really good. The CEO was on with Jim last night on Mad Money. It's a Stephanie Link name. Look at the stock today. It's rebounding up 6%. You bought more of it today?
I did, because the fundamentals are very, very strong, and I just can't understand why the stock would be down 6-7% at one point yesterday. It was the momentum trade, right? The whole momentum trade totally rolled over. It was risk off. These guys got caught up in it, but they beat and raised. Total revenues grew 28%. Operating margins beat by 200 basis points. The orders is the thing that kind of was staggering to me, up 60%.
How much was it down?
It was down at one point at 6% yesterday.
I thought you said 6-7. I just wanted to get that.
Yeah, 6-7.
She said it.
Focus on
Scott, she said it.
Go focus on your Zoom and that chart. Go ahead.
Everybody got that? I'm assuming.
Bryn liked it.